Kia ora, good evening. Today marks an historic day on the agricultural calendar with the release of several hundred mass-reared dung beetles in the south. Dating back to prehistoric times, dung beetles are known to improve soil and pasture growth while decreasing flies and worm infection in livestock. Evolutionary advances are underway at a dairy farm near Mataura with the release of 2 species of dung beetle today. A stringent selection process has been undertaken to make sure the right beetle varieties are chosen.
We had to make sure that these imported beetles were not going to invade and destroy the ecosystems within the bush. So this is the precautionary approach that we took from day one.
The 2 varieties released today originate from a similar environment in France. Can they survive in all climates from Southland to Northland?
Yeah, they certainly can. They even survive in places like Mongolia. They're very, very adaptable. They've been around forever. They were here when the dinosaurs were here. And there's thousands of different varieties. And so it's just a matter of finding the right mix, maybe 2 or 3 different varieties on some farms.
Around 500 beetles known to enjoy the wetter texture of cow dung were placed under aerated protection where they'll acclimatise for a week. Enthusiasts say dung beetles have the potential to transform New Zealand's pastoral-based agricultural system by devouring dung from a range of livestock.
For the sheep farmers, you just will not believe how easy life can become. And that after the 15 years we no longer need to vaccinate, dip, drench, crutch. The sheep just come in to the yards once a year, and that's for shearing in December.
Using animal faeces for food and reproduction, dung beetles are also known to reduce fly numbers and assist with parasite control.
The eggs of the parasites are actually buried, and they're buried so deep that they don't ever emerge.
Just how far dung beetles spread their wings is dependent on how far the dung is flung.
Wherever the cows are, you'll find the beetles. When there's not enough dung for the beetles will then migrate, and they'll maybe fly half a kilometre at the very, very most. But over 10 years, we've actually seen them spread 7 kilometres.
Farm owner Robin Greer says it's a privilege his organic farm's been chosen as a release point.
I'm expecting great things, but I have to be honest, I don't know a lot about what we're going to do. Obviously there's big variations in what's happened with them in the past, so we're certainly hoping for great things, but we'll just got to wait and see and look after them and help them multiply.
Environment Southland will undertake the ongoing monitoring.
We'll give these beetles a week in their containers first off, just to get them acclimatised to Southland conditions, and then we'll open them up and let them loose.
In years to come, it's hoped future generations of dung beetle released today will be playing their part in keeping the South's paddocks clean and green. Margot Sutherland, South Today News. Southeast Asian foreign direct investment in New Zealand grew to $4.4 billion at the 31st of March, up from $2.8 billion on the previous year, according to Statistics New Zealand. The majority of the increase is attributed to investment from Singapore, replacing Japan as the 4th largest inward investor to New Zealand. Australia remains our country's largest direct investor, with stocks in excess of $63 billion, or 62% of foreign direct investment, followed by the US and the UK. Carolyn Dean is stepping down from the Invercargill City Council but is not ruling out a return to local government in the future. Councillor Dean shared her thoughts in the lead up to October's election.
Usually with the City Council, it doesn't turn over very much. In fact, you can have the same council term after term after term. So I think in this term, it just transpires that there's definitely going to be 3 new ones. And I think if there's more than that, if there's 4 or even 5 new ones, or even with 3, it's really going to change the dynamic. So Invercargill's got a history of re-electing people, and it'll be interesting to see if the likes of Peter Kett get back on, because he's been successful in the past.
Neil Boniface, who's been there since 1974, almost 40 years.
Oh, the photos of Neil from the council photos from years gone by, I mean, you can see him growing up from a teenager basically into the deputy mayor, and then that role's changed again. But Neil's a really solid campaigner with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. So I think if the community vote in a few new people with real understanding and knowledge and just a passion for the community, along with some of the sort of, standing councillors and the campaigners, and then the ones that have been there for one or two terms that are just, really showing that they can be productive, then I think it should be good. It should be a good council.
And you'd be around to offer some advice? We're not going to see you leaving the region?
No, I'm staying in the region. I am pretty committed to my home here. My job actually, I work online, so I can really be anywhere and make a living that way. So no, definitely staying here, and I'm just hoping that an opportunity comes up to be able to still contribute and have input into council. But I definitely feel that the private sector and the community sector are just as important, if not more important, for the progress of the city than what the council is. So I think those other opportunities out there to really have an impact.
Would you rule out a return, though, to civic politics?
I haven't ruled it out. I don't know what the future holds. So I generally am not a person to shut doors prematurely. So I haven't ruled it out, and I think it's a really good, for me, I think it's going to re-energise me and sort of refocus me to step away from the council table and to get out of those, because you can get drawn into sort of holding a position because that's the position you said you had, and then you keep on holding it, and that can be quite negative. So I think it's quite good to step away and get back into the community and get that perspective again, and then if I did come back, I think I'd be the stronger for it.
Stay with us after the break. E-cigarettes and an electric car. Welcome back. There's good news for skiers, with recent spring snow in the Lakes District prolonging the season for two fields. The remarkable ski field was scheduled to wrap the season up this coming Sunday, but spring conditions are so good that closing date has been pushed out until October the 6th. The last day of skiing at Coronet Peak will be this Sunday, as with Treble Cone, who will also be calling an end to the season. Cardrona will stay open until the 6th, and snow conditions are so good at Mount Hutt, the field will remain open until the 13th of October, taking in 2 weeks of the school holidays. First, there were patches and then came gun. Now there's the e-cigarette. At an Invercargill engineering company, 5 long-term smokers have made the switch to e-cigarettes. We caught up with 2 of the reformed smokers.
One of the guys here had one and was wandering around, and for a start it was more, okay, what's this about, and he looks like an idiot and all that sort of thing. But when we actually had a look at what he was doing and he explained the benefits to it and what it was, then it just seemed like the next logical step. I was sick of smoking, sick of being a smoker, and I thought, well, if this is a way of getting around it, as in trying to help quit smoking, save money, then give it a go as well.
Both men had tried in the past to kick the habit.
I had a go with some gum and trying to quit cold turkey with that. That didn't last that long.
I tried patches, everything, and even with patches I crave for a smoke, but with this you don't.
And both say they're making major savings since converting to e-cigarettes.
So I can actually see week by week how much I'm saving by doing this.
150 maybe? Yeah, quite a lot.
So you were quite a heavy smoker and you've made the switch to the e-cigarette. And what was your investment initially to get into that?
To buy this and batteries and that was $100, yeah. Plus juice. I actually bought enough juice to last me for a whole year, so, and that was another $100, so it's $200 for a year.
They say their taste and smell has improved, among other things.
I would get up in the morning out of breath, coughing and all that, not having that anymore. Any physical activity feels a bit easier. My sense of taste and sense of smell is better. I can actually smell smokers now.
Feel fitter. I can run up some stairs now. I used to be, no, a lot better.
But how it will fit in society in the future is unclear.
At the moment, I'm still following every smoke-free policy. If I'm at a bar or something like that, I will go outside into the smokers area, even though I know that it's probably not the same as smoking. It's more to just follow along with what it is until there's some confirmation of where this stands in society.
Despite the obvious benefits of switching from tobacco to e-cigarettes, the Southland District Health Board is not encouraging its integration in society.
We know that children in particular learn from their parents and from watching adults and their behaviour, and so we would be reluctant to see e-cigarettes become widely used as a prop, if you like, for everyday life. I think we should aim to encourage its use in helping people to quit smoking.
Supporters of the alternative plan of architect Bob Simpson met last evening to find out more about his intentions for the inner city. Mr Simpson's proposing a smaller upgrade of the city centre than that proposed by Craig Pocock. Mr Simpson's ideas include a smaller pedestrian precinct bounded by Tay, D and Spey streets with a boundary 100 metres east of Devron. Property owners would be encouraged to install verandas on all inner city buildings to provide shelter from the rain and debris should an earthquake occur. Under Mr Simpson's plan, there would be a covered outdoor square for community events and sufficient parking close to the city facilities. Some say the future of motoring is an electric one, with the first models rolling off manufacturers' assembly lines around the world. Venture Southland, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Authority and Mitsubishi Motors are working together to give Southlanders a look at the latest electric motoring technology. The Mitsubishi i-MiEV will be in the south for the next 2 months, demonstrating at various events around the region. The vehicle's electricity usage has been estimated at $280 per year for 1,400 kilometres travelled. In petrol terms, that's 26 cents per litre. And that's affordable travelling indeed. That brings us to a close. Next in sport, we talk to Southland stag Scott Eade about last weekend's thrilling victory and the upcoming game with Otago. From the news team, good night.